Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be using an oval stone that I made from a mold that I purchased from the Happy Dotting Company. If you want to get your hands on your own molds, you can certainly go to the link that's in the description below to the Happy Dotting Company, and it takes you to her Etsy shop. She has so many different types of molds there that you can use, and I have multiples of the same size, so I can make rocks, sort of like my entire kitchen is covered in rocks that I'm making, because I use them so much. But definitely, if you want to start out and you want your own oval mold, or if you want your own round molds, definitely go and check out her shop. It's amazing. She's got great stuff and quick shipping too, like unbelievable. So make sure you check her out. I'm using the large oval. Now, in order to get the border drawn on with my General's charcoal pencil, what I have used is I've just basically put my pencil on just the edge. There is a tiny bit of a lip of where it starts to concave down into the bottom part of the rock, and that's what I use. And I usually get it pretty close to being centered. But you can do, that's my easy way. You can do whatever way works for you. So as you've been watching, I've started out with doing sort of like a shade gradation from the top to the bottom in blue. So I'm using navy blue, and all I'm doing is adding white to it as I go down. And then at the bottom, I am using just a mixture of black and white to give me a gray color. And that's just going to be my base coat. So I'm just sort of wanting to know where I am on the rock, and I will be painting over top of this. But I really like having that kind of a background there. So now I'm going to add on some clouds, and all I did was I used one of my blending brushes that I've made myself. If you want to know how to make your own, there is a tutorial listed in the description below that I've made for you, so you can go and check that out. But I'm just making clouds. So what I've done is on one side of my blending brush, I've put on the navy blue, and then on the other side, I have put on white. So it's kind of like folk art painting when you're doing one stroke painting, but I'm using it to make my clouds. It's a quick and easy way to do it, and you don't have to be overly perfect with it. So as you can see, it was very quick, and now I'm done. So now I'm putting in the very, very background. If you think about paintings, you want to have like your background, your middle ground, and then your foreground. And the foreground is usually the most detailed, with all of your little details and things like that to make it look realistic, or to make it look the way that you want to. But you need that foreground, or sorry, that background in there in order to give you the depth. So I'm just putting in some mountain ranges, and now I'm just adding a little bit of shading and some light areas, because this is the rock that I told you about my last tutorial that I was going to do as one of the phenomenons that we had happen just, well, I guess it was about a month and a half ago now, but it was the solar eclipse that we had. So I really wanted to do a tutorial on painting the eclipse. And so here it is. I finally got it posted for you guys. Now, I know it's been a while. I've had this video done for quite some time, but it was just getting the time to edit it. And I do apologize for not being so diligent like I have in the past. But life sometimes gets into the way, and you just got to deal with things as they come. And yeah, so I'm back on track, and things are great with me, and I'm having so much fun. and enjoying doing all of these paintings and things like that. So I've had quite a bit of custom orders, like commissions and things like that. So that's kind of kept me busy and away from my YouTube family. So thank you for joining me today because I've missed you guys. I've missed doing this and I'm so happy to be able to bring this back. So thank you for being patient with me. So now what I'm doing is I am still working on the background and I'm putting in a little city. So I'm just putting some lights in there to make it look like the city's all lit up because in the solar eclipse, it kind of makes things not 100% dark, but it's definitely got a different kind of a look to it and it makes the lights come on. So I'm just sort of making that look that way by just adding some grays and browns and yellows and whites to give that eye illusion that there's a little city down in the valley and all their lights are on. So that's how you do it is you just add a little bit of light and some dark colors and you just dab it on there. And that's it. So it's not all about the detail in the background. It's just to give the eye illusion of what needs to be there to make the eye believe what is there. So you don't have to be so detailed, I guess. You can be sloppy with it and the eye still understands what it is that it's seeing. So now I'm building up some more mountains kind of like in the middle ground now and just adding some shading to it, giving a little bit of lightness to it and a little bit of darkness to give it that depth perception so it tricks the eye even though I'm painting on a two-dimensional surface. I'm giving it the three-dimensional look. And all you do is you use lights and darks for shadows and for light sources. And that's it. Like, look how cool those mountain ranges look. It's really, really come together nicely just by doing a couple of easy paint strokes. So the colors that I'm using, there's like multiple colors, but I do a lot of mixing. I have them all listed in the description below. So if you want to follow along with what I'm doing, read the description first, get your paints ready, and paint along with me. If you want to watch this and then maybe watch it again to do the tutorial, by all means do that. But like I said, all of the brand names and the actual name of the paint is listed below in the description. So make sure you take a peek at that. And then you can be all set and ready to go. So now I'm putting in the foreground. So what I'm doing is I'm using a hunter green and I'm just adding a little bit of white just to give it a really light tone at the top. It's kind of like a hilltop that's in the foreground that's overlooking all of this beautiful scenery. And so I've got to make it really light at the I don't know, the top of the hill there because that's where your light source is coming from. Now you don't see the light source just yet because I haven't put the moon in and the sun. That I do that last because I really, really wanted to get this all done first and then work on that. So now I'm going in with another green. It's called Happy Green by FolkArt. And all I'm doing is I'm adding in some more of this lighter color to, again, give a depth perception to the eye. And I'm just sort of swiping it on. I'm not being careful. Well, I'm sort of being careful, but not 100%. I'm okay if it's a little bit sloppy. And now I'm just adding in some white and some more hunter green. And I'm going to work that way down the rock to the bottom so that it is now going to be completely that pure hunter green at the bottom. But I just love how you can mix paints right onto your rock or whatever it is that you're painting. Like It could be a canvas. It could be maybe a wood panel or maybe even a wooden box or something like that. Whatever your choice is, you can do this technique on anything. So that's all I do is while your paint is wet, you can manipulate it any way you want just by adding colors. Sometimes you want to dilute it a bit, so you can just add a tiny bit of water. You'll see a little bit later in this video too that I actually do some painting with a Q-tip, so like a cotton swab. So you're not just limited to paintbrushes. You can, whatever your imagination lets you do, you can do. And if you believe it, you can make it. So definitely give everything a try. And the best thing about acrylic paint, if you don't like it, let it dry and just paint over top of it with a solid color, and you can start again. Go with a dark color. That's why I always go with black first. And it covers everything up and you can start all over again. So, and that's true for everything, not just rocks. I've done it on canvases before, where I've painted something years ago and it's just not, it's not, I don't know what the word is. It doesn't draw to me anymore. So I just paint over it with black paint and I start again. It's really simple, really easy to do. So now I'm just putting in little swipes here and there to give the illusion of some grass that's growing. I debated about putting in some flowers, but I thought, no, let's just keep this simple and we're just going to do grass. So, and that's what I did. And it's just flicking your fine lining brush with a little bit of paint on there. I'm throwing in some mellow yellow. I'm throwing in some more hunter green, and I'm not cleaning my brush in between each color. So I get a natural mix of the paints while I'm doing this. So it again looks a little bit more realistic. This video is full of tips and tricks for you guys that you may not have thought of, or maybe you did. I don't know. But I've learned this as I've gone throughout my career of painting, and I wouldn't say it's a career, it's more of a hobby, but because I do it so often, I just love it. So, and I've picked up all these things along the way, and I'm just passing them on to you. So let me know if you like the video by giving me a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and ring the bell so that every time I post something new, you're going to get a notification so you can get the first look at it. So make sure you do that. Like I said, make sure you check out the description for all of my really good links that will take you to some really cool stuff. And then leave me a comment if you want. Let me know what you think about this. What did you do on the day of the eclipse? I know it was a while ago, but do you remember, did you see it? Were you able to see it where you live? Was it cloudy, or was it rainy? Or just let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I have such a fascination with especially the night sky and things that happen in the solar system. I'm so interested in it. So let me know in the comments about if you were able to see it or not. So as I've been yapping there, I've put on the moon, and I used one of my dotting tools from the Dotting Center. And then I used my blending brush, one of my big blending brushes that I purchased from Amazon, and I smoothed it all out and then made it sort of fuzzy on the edges. And now here, what I'm trying to do is make some swipes because I wanted it to be so that the moon had already started to progress and move to the other side. But there was just too many of them. So I'm using a cotton swab with some water, and I am just erasing it basically. And that's another cool thing with acrylic paint. You just add some water and it takes it off, especially if it's still semi-wet. You can just wipe it right off. And if your base is already dry, like really dry, that base should not come off. If it does, it's going to be just very minute. It's not going to be a lot. So now I'm using the other side of that cotton swab, and with just a little bit of water on it, I'm now putting the little wisps in there. And now I'm putting the moon in front of it. Now you'll notice a little dot of, it's kind of like a peachy orange color on the right side. Well, right now it's on the left because it's upside down, but on the right side, I was originally going to put like a sunburst color there as well, almost like a starburst. But at the end of it, I decided I didn't like it, so I just erased it again using the same technique with using the cotton swab and some water. And I just reapplied some white paint to go all the way around and decided I didn't need that extra bit. So you'll notice at the end when you watch the video of the photos at the end of this video that the dot isn't there anymore. Once I have finished painting, I let it dry for about 24 hours and then I give it a coat of resin. The resin really makes those colors pop. And because I use Art Resin, it's great for UV protectant to protect your colors. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.